Morning. It's July 30th. Figured I'd switch it up. I needed to get out of the house. So I'm in the caldera of a super volcano. Can you believe it? Oso! That's bear in Spanish. I don't think bears can speak English or Spanish. Maybe they heard me. Can you believe it rained? I'm in Island Park, Idaho, at a kind of a celebration. My buddy Cody has a birthday on the 28th, and his wife has one on the 11th. And Jeff and Kelly are fortunate to have a father that has a cabin. So I knocked off work yesterday at noon and drove 2 hours south into Island Park. Stayed at a cabin with a whole bunch of friends I hadn't seen in a long time. Maybe on Facebook, but that doesn't count. It was fun. The power went out. There's some big lightning storm. So we were in the dark for a while. But it came back on. I think everybody needed this vacation. Everybody was, stressed out with life. That's reasonable. Life gets people stressed, just like me. When I left the cabin, it was too dark to take a video, so I walked out to they kind of live in a end of a cul-de-sac. Kind of summer homes and winter homes, because this is a mecca for snowmobiling. And yeah, I figured I'd be the only person, but the neighbor was out walking their dog with their flashlight. I was like, huh. So I just stood there. I don't know if they seen me or not. It was a ways away, but yeah, it was kind of cool. Then I walked down to the next house, and it's like 10 minutes after 5. And there's another person like walking around, banging around. So I guess you got to start your day early, right, Spencer? Jeff and Kelly's kid was like still sleeping, like at 2 o'clock. He probably got up at 3 o'clock. I was like, wow. How do you do that? I guess kids get into that. But here they are. It's a female. And robins. You hear the robins. Yeah, it rained a lot. This sign over here says, "Please drive safe," but no one can read it from that side of the road. Who's gonna read it? Somebody in the bushes or something? Ooh. Fire danger. Open flames. Oh, here comes a car. Pretend I'm taking a video, which I am. Another traveler trying to see the Yellowstone. I figured I'd walk out to the highway. Why not, huh? Get up early. All my friends' kids are getting big. Finn's driving. He's 16. It's just like, I remember when they didn't have kids, and you know, another one came along a couple years later, you know, junior high kid, or maybe even high school now, but a lot of people are here just to relax, and some people are here just to hoot and holler and do the most exciting thing on the planet. Like Spencer wants to, and Finn want to rent a razor and go motor around, motorsports kind of stuff. That's cool. I just want to hang out with all my friends. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to see anything. I've seen everything around here. But yeah, I'm in a caldera of a super volcano. I just heard a cow. Maybe when we get out here, I'll be able to see the meadow. It doesn't look like it, but all these trees were cut down 50, 60 years ago. And this is a clear cut. These are all new trees. Can't see it, but there's a ton of fireweed down there in the bushes. Oh, that's light. I'd go out there, but don't want to spook up any people. Like I'm trying to break into some place or something. Or cow. I think it's 1.5 miles to the highway from here. I still have to turn around and go another, I don't know, another mile backwards. So this will probably be maybe a 4-mile hike or walk. Hoping not to see too many cars and people or bears. I mean, I'd like to see a bear, but we're in Grizz country for sure. And this time of day isn't the greatest for activity, like interactions with bears. They're just getting up, moving around. Bear spray. This will save your life. It's got an expiration date too. But yeah, this is your safety, so you don't spray yourself. You pull that clip out and hammer down. and sweep side to side, down low. Hopefully I'll never have to spray my bear spray. This thing actually, you can kind of tell right now, but it's that plastic that glows in the dark, so you can charge it up in your tent. It's kind of satisfying. Yeah, I'm gonna charge up my safety so I know where my bear spray is, so I can grab it before the bear grabs you. Private property. Stay out. Yeah, legally you have to post like I can't remember what it was, like 1 square foot of space, or well, actually in Montana, we're in Idaho. But if you wanted people to stay out or hunting kind of stuff, sometimes people poach your land for hunting, or just walking around or find a camp spot or whatever. You're really close to Yellowstone, so there's people from 7 continents here. Is there 7? Yeah. I brought my rock grinder for the kids and adults to play around with. Something to do. There's all kinds of stuff here to do, but I figured, hey, why not? It's portable. I'm staying at a cabin at a family member. Kelly's dad was unfortunate to be at the Hanoi Hilton. He was a prisoner of war. I guess they bought the cabin like in the recession 10 or 12 years ago when it was cheap. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine being a prisoner of war? It's no fun. Oh, my fingers are getting cold. Should have brought gloves. Yeah, Cody and Melissa, it's kind of the reason I'm here. Brought their motorhome because they live in Utah. So they're staying in the motorhome. And then Cody and Alana, they flew in from Texas and got a rental car just down the street from me and drove up here. And they're staying up above the garage. There are 2 kids, and Cody has 2 kids and 2 dogs in the motorhome. And then Jeff and Kelly are in the cabin with their 2 kids. And yeah, I got my camper shell, so I'm kind of being a dirtbag, sleeping in my truck, kind of like a ski bum. But that's okay, you know. And I guess I think my buddy and his wife Jen and Jesse are coming with their 2 kids. So there's gonna be like, I don't know how many that is, more than 12. I think I see people sleeping in their tents and hammocks, so it'll be quiet. But I'm probably not as loud as the highway, if you can hear that. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool couple days. There's no stress out here unless you're at the gas pump. I mean, they gouge you at the gas pump, but that's okay, right? You just gouge the consumer, the tourist people. It's unfortunate for people that actually live here. They pay just $1 premium more for gas. I'm not sure what's in store today, but big group of people, we can't do everything all together, you know. We can separate. If someone wants to go fishing, so go fishing, you know. If someone wants to take a nap, go take a nap. Here comes a car. I'm willing to do about just anything. Walking in the weeds here. My feet kind of got damp right there. Not my feet, but since it rained. It was a good rainstorm. A couple of the lightning strikes were just really, really close. I was hoping to be able to see off into the meadow, but it seems like anywhere I can look off, it's a cabin. Well, it's almost 6. I wonder if anybody's stirring, making coffee. I slept pretty good in my camper shell. It was quiet. We stayed up kind of late, I guess. Some of us did. Maybe like 11 o'clock or something by the time we all went to bed. So that's like, what is that, 6 hours? It's about what I usually get, about 6 hours. it was good to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen, you know, face to face. You get to talk to people. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Got a couple guitars, you know, all kinds of good food, good people. Most adults here are drinking. Some aren't, but me included. See, this guy says it takes balls this big to live up here. Yep. Or money that big. I bet you they got in when it's cheaper. I guess I'm working on my mindfulness, where my mind goes. I'm having troubles with my coworker. He's denying the fact that he has a drinking problem. The other day we went on a backpacker and he just got wrecked. He was just having like stumbling over his tent, doing like a front flip over his tent on purpose or on accident. You know, rolling around on the ground like a bear that got into a big patch of fermented apples in the fall and just is so hungry, just can't stop eating the apples and just is rolling around and just drunk. And you know, I spoke out to my boss and said, hey, you know, this is affecting my job, you know. So I can't change him. He's got to change himself. And you know, after that I had kind of a strenuous hike the next day, and we walked up a mountain. I barely broke a sweat. It was a mile, 1,000 vertical, and he was just dragging. You know, he just looked like he was like so fatigued and just. And I told him, I was like, dude, how was that hike? And he's like, oh, it was hard. I was, you know, trying to open his eyes, but he says he's fine. So I just have to get a break from him, you know. I don't need him stressing me out, and I know that I have problems with, you know, being crabby or, you know, being aggressive, but it's like, you know, do your job, you know. Fix your tape. Let's make a list of things we need to do. Fix your tape. Did you fix your tape? No. So when are you gonna fix your tape, you know? After all, I'm like, fix your tape, you know? Pull your head out. But he thinks he's doing a great job, and I don't want to be drug into his problems with his marriage and things. I tell him I care about him. I love him like a brother. I've known him for 20 years, and we've been to all kinds of places together. He just, you know, he's struggling with stress too. I know that. You know, he was living in his car last week in the parking lot because he got kicked out of his house. He was in the doghouse. I mean, he never told me this, but like, it was pretty obvious, you know, when he was taking a shower in the sink, you know. I wish him the best. I just wish he would understand that having a stroke is pretty much bottom, and he had a stroke, so he's like 52 or 3, and that was like 4 years ago, and he's still thinking that drinking is a good thing to do. So I wish him the best, you know. But I guess I'm getting to the highway. Enough about him. I guess this vacation's not about him. It's about me and my family and friends. And that's what I'm gonna concentrate on. My mindfulness is talk about things I like to do, things that make me happy. You know, talk to people, look people in the eye, give them acknowledgement that they're there. Because I'm not the only one that's struggling, you know, with stress or whatever. Let's go see how much gas is. This is the highway that goes up to West Yellowstone. Kind of smells smoky up here. We're getting into more of the tourist trap area where you can get a $5 foot long at Subway for $15 because they jack up the price for tourists. But isn't it cool? I can drive like 2 hours from my house and be in a caldera of a super volcano. You know, maybe not when it blows up, but man, that's a pretty awesome thing to think about. You know, if this thing blew up, you know, how many times it's blown up since the plate is going over the hot spot, you know. They say it's due, you know, but, you know, we don't know. I guess the earthquakes will tell us. Or the crows will say, hey, get out of here. Bail. So, anyway, I don't know if I really want to get out to the street. It's already been 28 minutes. I guess we can't ride snowmobiles here. Why not? I guess there's no snow. I mean, there's snowmobiles everywhere, but maybe this is the road. Wow, look at that pretty purple flower. It's called knapweed. It's an invasive species. Let's see. Yep. Not enough stripes, not enough stars, but symbolic, I guess. Excuse me. Back to the cabin. Got a dry throat here. I probably won't get too many views on this video, but you know, this is therapy for me. talking to my phone. You know, it doesn't cost anything. If you go to a psychiatrist, they'll charge you an arm and a leg, sit on a chair and talk. So, but look at this therapy. Or not ponderosa, these are lodgepole pine. Someone's cooking food that smells good. My buddy from Texas, he's got some extra money, or he wants to invest somewhere, and he was actually talking to me. He's like, "Hey, do you know about this ranch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I worked up there last week." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." Kind of told him about the area, but you know, you gotta, I guess you have to buy land to make money. Just don't worry about it. I'm really considering trying to find some land myself. Whether it's land to build on or land to just to invest in. Oh, you can see the peak out there. I believe that's called Sawtell Peak. It's in the Centennial Mountains. And just north of there is basically one of the headwaters of the Missouri River. Well, it's called Red Rocks. But yeah, it flows north and keeps going north and flows into the Beaverhead River, and then flows into the Jefferson, and the Jefferson flows into the Missouri, and the Missouri flows into the Mississippi eventually. So basically all this water that's on the other side of this mountain flows all the way across the United States and ends up in the Gulf of Mexico. And then behind me, all this water that rained last night flows into the, if it makes it, flows into the Snake River and then goes out to the Pacific through the Columbia, I think. And the Snake River Plain is basically where the volcano blew up a whole bunch of times. 6 or 7 different eruptions out there. Oh, I got some rain. I like geology, I like rocks. I mean, like, the rocks I pick up are 50 million years old. It's kind of hard to fathom. Everybody's talking about global warming, or it's like the world's dynamic. It's been changing over time and eons, millions of years. We just happen to be here when it's not going ballistic, you know, when it's peaceful a little bit. Although humans kind of make it unpeaceful. We're kind of like the catalyst, you know, fighting over religion or fighting over whatever it is. I don't know. I can't quite grasp that, you know, when you step away from where you live, you know. Let's walk over here and see if we can see the peak. I'll be quiet because there's people sleeping, I think. It's impressive. My buddy Peter, he actually called me the other day. He's like, Randy, I'm coming up from Arizona to help you guys. You got any backpackers? I'm like, man, we have like 2 or 3. And he wants to come help us get out of the desert. And he's like, I'm staring at a mountain right now. I'm gonna go hike. I'm gonna go drive my car up to the top of this mountain and go camping. So my friend last Sunday drove up from Idaho. Well, this is Idaho, but he came up from Arizona. Drove all the way up to that bubble and camped on top, I believe, or somewhere up there. Yeah, the boss man gives him a credit card and a 4-wheel drive, and he gets to go camping all summer. Not a bad job. Not for everybody though. Peter's the awesome person that you can be, you know. He's got a great attitude, got a great spirit. Tries to keep things positive. Because I should emulate what Peter says and does. Although I'm not as fast of a hiker as he is. But a couple years ago, well, it was probably 15 years ago, him and I were at the Grand Canyon, up on the south rim of the Grand Canyon in Arizona. And he's like, hey, do you want to walk down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon? And I'm like, whoa, I didn't really want to go. I wanted to go bag another peak somewhere. So I rode my bike somewhere, bagged a peak somewhere. And he walked down, he rode his bike from the hotel that we were staying in. Rode his bike up to the Grand Canyon, locked up his bike, walked down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, walked back out. And, you know, the next day, I didn't see Peter. I'm like, oh, he's just passed out. He's so tired, he can't even move his legs or get up out of bed. And I talked to him on Monday morning, ready to go to work. I'm like, hey, were you all tired yesterday? And on Sunday, you just crash out, eat a whole bunch of food. And he's like, no, I went for a bike ride that morning and just decided to go down to the bottom again. So he walked all the way down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon 2 days in a row. So I mean, the human body can do a lot of things, and it can be sedentary too, you know, if you let it. You know, you pack on the pounds and you get lazy, and then you don't have as much energy because you're eating crappy food or whatever. But Peter's young and spry. Well, I guess he's probably almost 60 now. But when I worked with him, he was in his 40s, about what I am now, or maybe even older. He's a great friend. And maybe I'll see him at the end of the month, because he's gonna roll up to Idaho and help some people out up there, and then possibly come and visit for a week or so. Give him some of the hardest plots we have, some of the steepest, nastiest places we have to go, and he'll just say, yep, that's where I want to go. So Amazing human. Can't beat the enthusiasm he has for, you know, getting out there. He's like an old school hippie guy. He has long hair and runs and rides his bike and plays guitar, and you know, he quit drinking probably maybe when he was my age or a little bit younger. He went to jail and things like that in his past times, you know. So when I was talking to him, I was telling him how I was having trouble with anger and tension, and he's like, well, I had a cop punch me right in the face, you know. And when I was jail, I just punched the wall, you know. He's like, if you need somebody to beat up on, I'll come up. And he's like, I'm pretty durable. You can punch me. So maybe I'll take him up on that. Hey, Peter, how's it going? Boom. Smack him in the face. How's it going? What are you doing? Oh, yeah. But yeah, he's joking, but just said he was proud of me for kicking the habit. Because he did too. Like when I was working with him, he liked tequila, you know, and orange juice. So he'd kind of get a little rowdy. But I'll be quiet. There's maybe some people camping. Hey, if you're sleeping through this morning, yeah. A little change from my walk around the prairie where I live, huh? Trees and things are starting to come to life here. Looking forward to fall when the things start changing, you know, with the fall colors. Yeah, I went hiking on, on Thursday. Hiked like 4.5 miles up a mountain, 2,000 vert, dropped into another drainage, went back up the other side, and literally walked like 3 hours to get to my job. We were sweating. There was 3 of us, but we knocked it out. Actually found some huckleberries, so that was kind of rewarding, you know. Sweating like a dog, getting I don't know, getting discouraged because I'm getting older. I'm working with a guy that could run, or I don't know about now, but I mean, he's only like 30, but in high school he could do like a 4.5 minute mile, you know. So, you know, I'm backside of my 40s trying to keep up with some young spry guy that is into cross country and football and stuff. But yeah, so this guy's hauling butt. Looks like they were gonna go out to the Yellowstone, but yeah. I guess it's a hard truth, you know. I'm getting older, arthritic in places, just like anybody, I guess. But if you can stay active, you know, you have a better chance, a way better chance. I mean, I've lost 35 pounds. I can have a before and after picture when I quit drinking, and holy crap. I mean, a lot of my pants, they're still in my closet, but they're just so big I can't even, you know. Need to go shopping, maybe treat myself to some new pants, new jeans. I don't know, I'm kind of thrifty, so I'll just go to the thrift store and find, you know, clothes that are slightly used or gently used, you know. Not raggy clothes, just clothes people grew out of, or on the opposite. They bought them and then now they can't fit into them. So they're like, well, I can't fit in these pants. I'll just buy the extra size, extra waist size. That in reality you should do the opposite. But you know, get on a weight program or stop eating so much junk food or drinking all the Red Bull energy drinks and things like that. I guess Uncle Seymour Washington said, keep doing something. If it ain't much, do a little. And he was talking about whiskey, but you can use that in any kind of frame of mind, you know. Always forward, never straight. Just keep moving. I like this one. You can smile for lack of something else to do, and no one will laugh and point at you. That's John Prine. John Prine was a great lyrical genius. He'd write all kinds of songs and storytell. And he just recently passed, and he got the virus. But he was old, susceptible to that, and because he had had cancer and other things, health issues, just being kind of overweight. But yeah, smile. I've been trying to talk to people. Like, I'm an introvert for sure. I'd rather hang out with like 2 or 3 people than 100 people, you know. But I'm trying to break out of that, you know. Talk to people, cashiers or whoever, you know. Just randomly talk to people. Maybe they think I'm weird, but yeah, maybe they need to talk to people too. And I just notice it when you're walking in the stores. A lot of people won't even look you in the eye. Like if you're looking and you're trying to get over and you say, excuse me, they won't even acknowledge you. Or some people, not everybody, but just look people in the eye. I think that's something I try to do. You never know what, you know, their week's been or their month or what they're struggling with, you know, like maybe they had a family member that died, or maybe their dog died, you know. Make people's day. That's been a longer video than I thought, but it's okay. I've been walking for nearly, I don't know, probably an hour. And I still have, I don't know, a mile to go maybe. I have to turn at this junction and then go like 0.75. Or actually like, yeah, I still have like a mile to go. But as the crow flies, it's just like right over there. And I have to go way over there, and then up the hill, and then circle back around and make a circle. Hey everybody. Wonder if I'm gonna have some bacon today. That'd be awesome. Or smell bacon when I get to the cabin. Yeah, I'll show you the cabin when I get there. It's a beautiful place. I'm sure the neighbors are like, what are those guys doing over there? Like, because they were all up at 5 in the morning just like I am. So they're probably ancient. Because these are all summer homes out here. You know, I don't think anybody lives here year round. If you do, you don't have a job. Because like, where do you work? But you work spray painting things on concrete, DS5. B-O-R-E, boar. Yeah. Is there a boar? Is there a pig over there? Who was the guy that had to spray paint that? Or a gal? Little flowers over there. Got some rain. Trembling aspen. I hope people are up. At least stirring around, smoking their cigarette or drinking their coffee or whatever they like to do. A couple of my friends vapor, I think it's called. But I quit smoking nearly 20 years ago. And in August 5th, it'll be 20 years not smoking cigarettes, and then 1 year without alcohol. So that's kind of proud of myself for that. I should be. I hope I remember how to get here. It was dark when I walked out. But the fireweed, the purple flower. Yeah, I brought my grinder, and my legs are tired when I got up there. Need some energy. Kind of worn out from my walk the other day. Usually it kicks in a couple days later. You get a little sore. But yeah, the kids were, because they're budding rock hounds like I was when I was a kid. I pick up rocks in the gravel. So the kids were all in the driveway picking up rocks and saying, "Should I grind this rock?" I was like, yeah, that's a cool rock. I didn't want to say no, but some of the rocks they picked up were a little bit more effort than what they probably wanted to do. So pick your battles, like the smaller the rock, less grinding you have to do, the better too. So, but I brought a whole bunch of rocks for them to grind on, and I think a lot of people are liking it. But it's their vacation too. They can do whatever they want. I brought my topper. Needs a couple bolts, so I brought some sawzall or thread all and some screws and nuts and things like that, hardware. And I figured, like if I have time, maybe I'll work on my J bolts. And my buddy saw when I opened my car door, he's like, "What's that for?" I was like, "Oh, I got to do this and that." He's like, "Oh, I got something in my motorhome. They'll cut that really fast." He has like I don't know why he has it, but he has like a Makita grinder sawzall thing. So maybe I'll be able to fix my J bolts. I just barely bought my topper, so I haven't really had enough time to. Oh, it's getting steep here. Like actually bolted down, so it's like can't remember the word, but make it so I don't have to take it back off and on. So I'm gonna go get some weather stripping and re-weather strip it, because sleeping in there, when it rained, there was just some spots that I noticed that when I was laying in my tent, my camper, I could see some air, you know, from outside, the light. So when I get some time, I'll put some new weather stripping on it and readjust the bolts and clamp it down permanently. Was the word that I was looking for. Sorry if I'm breathing hard. This is kind of a steep hill. Can't believe I get to stay at a cabin with all my friends from another state that I don't see. Like when I moved to Montana, you know, I'd never turned around. You know, I embraced the fact that I like Montana and I'm gonna live here for a long time. But all my friends that I left in Utah are here now. So back when Cody was younger, he was really into he was really into fly fishing, and because of that, we'd all go up to the Uintas in Utah, and we would go out for the weekend, basically the last weekend of July. So it kind of was like a reunion. But then we all got married and had kids, except for me. But so instead of going to Uintas, we went to, maybe this might be a tradition. But yeah, Cody works a lot, so this is a great vacation for him. Stress reliever. There's no need to be anxious up here, unless you really needed to take a shower and there's no hot water or something. I see a bear. Holy crap. It's huge. See it? Looks like a grizzly. It could be yours. It's for sale. For only $1 million, you could live here and use it once a year. Let's go take the tour. Grizzly Falls. That one kind of looks angry. Didn't wipe very well, I guess. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Don't want to see one of those up close. I guess people would say that's ginormous, if that's a word. So I've been walking for probably nearly over an hour for sure, but I didn't start filming until it got lighter. So here's some cubs. Where's your mom? Because I want to see your mom. Takes some talent. And some people have that in them. Or the passion, I guess. If you have passion for anything, you'll succeed in whatever that is. Whether it's passion for, chewing bubble gum. People that chew bubble gum usually are pretty good at it. It takes a lot of practice and endurance. Just keep chewing. I hope people are up. Maybe I'll just get in there, start banging things around. Turn on some heavy metal music. Stir them up. Start clanking around. No, I'll be respectful. To a point, I guess. Get up, it's your vacation. It's 6 o'clock. Let's get out and do something or not do something. If that's what you don't want to do or don't want to do. Man, I wish this smoke would disappear. Phase 2. Phase 2. I'm so thankful that I can be able to do this. Talk to my phone. I'm thankful that I don't have a flip phone. And then have 4G network that I can check the weather. Yeah, coming up the canyon, it started raining. It started raining good, actually. And by the time I got here, it cleared up. And I was just telling my friends, I said, yeah, it just rained. It's headed this way. And then about a half hour later, it started raining. And it didn't stop for a long time. So, it's good for everything. Good for the plants. Good for the, critters. The animals. I didn't water my garden when I left because I really watered it really good. And I figured I wasn't going to be here more than a couple days. So I figured, well, it's not going to die. It might get hot, but I think hopefully this storm rained on my house too, rained on the whole valley. That's what we need, We didn't get much rain in May and June, which is usually our wet months. I think we're down like 5 or 6 inches from normal. And that's a lot when we don't get a lot out here in the West. You know, out east where it rains all the time, or Florida. See, look at all the water. Nature's natural. Ooh, maybe that's phase 2 over there. I'd hate to be out here in a fire. These roads are pretty wide, but embers can jump from over here over to there and jump forward, and pretty soon your American dream, or whatever you call this, summer homes, goes up in smoke. But that's life, I guess. Tomorrow's never certain. I've been filming for over an hour, which means I need some water. I'm guessing that only a couple people watch this video, or stay and watch a video for an hour. I know who those people are too. This is kind of like a phone call, you know? So I can basically talk to people via my camera phone. This gravel is kind of loud. Let's walk up here, see if it's more compacted. Walk in the track of somebody else. All this rock is like crushed up like lava stone, because like duh, we're in a rhyolitic, we're in a super volcano, Caldera, so no duh, there's volcanic rocks everywhere. Well, we're rounding the corner. You can tell some of these homes don't get used very often. The overgrown everything, the windows are shut, kind of deal. It's getting windy, you might hear some wind noise. Apologize to all 4 of you that watch this. It's getting a little foggy out there with all the moisture in the air. Yeah. Here's my turn. So I only have like another 1,500 feet to go. Or maybe even probably 1,600 feet. More than a third of a mile. And then I'm there. Just smell the bacon right now already. All these people used to go camping with me a long time ago, and we were just car camping. Now we're living the dream, living in a posh, nice cabin. I'm wondering, like, if the people that are renting these places are actually living here, you know, what they actually do for a job, or how they got their money for an extra house, you know. Takes a lot of, I don't know, patience. You know, you gotta think about, like, people work all their lives to, like, pay off their homes, and by the time they pay off their homes, they have to remodel it because it's so old, you know. Ooh, I'm in a gated community. We can lock people out. It's like people can just drive around that. Or I could. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. If you didn't, change the channel. Or fall asleep while you're listening to me. For all I care. Doesn't matter. It's good to take walks. I mean, especially like out here. I mean, look how peaceful it is. You know, you got somebody decided to make a fountain. Here's some old people. Yeah, but this is what it looks like out in the island park, you know. You see me, they're gonna try to keep their dogs from attacking me. So I'll walk on the other side. Oh, they turned around. So. Almost there. I don't want to film people that aren't wanting to be filmed. But yeah, they're all the aspen and the lodgepole and the Utah honeysuckle. Even found a vaccinium whortleberry. It's pretty good. Had some yesterday or the day before. Good morning. Attack dogs. Taking a video. It's a big home. I think I saw them this morning. I think those are the people that got up early and big fluffy white dogs. Or small fluffy white dogs. I think those are the neighbors of the people that I'm staying with. Yeah, I'm just I'm glad Kelly's dad made it back from the Hanoi Hilton. You know, that's gotta be a hard thing to endure, you know. Think about that, you know, when you're, you know, complaining about traffic or something, you know. People sacrificed a lot. Anywhere, I guess, if you're from another country too, you know. So here we are. see anybody stirring. I'll go inside, and the gravel's kind of loud. Cody and Melissa's camper. Looks like the heat's on. That's where I slept. I have to be a little quiet because people are still. Take off my shoes here. Yep. Here's some people. Crazy, huh? What to do? No one's up. I think everybody's still sleeping. I think I rustled Jeff and Kelly up. Their door was open, so didn't want to wake them up. Yeah, what a great place, huh? Let's go check out the back 40. Fireplace. Yeah, beautiful, huh? Some firewood, some hammocks. My dad likes this game. I do too, it's fun. Oh. Now it's time to rest. Today's gonna be a great day. So, till next time, from the RockerRan Treasure Hand Show. It's always a pleasure. So take it cool.